Because I'm bad, you know it. You gotta be starting something, you got to be starting something. I'm a criminal, you got criminal. Do you know that Michael Jackson stole the moonwalk? But I can't remember allegedly, possibly from where. This is why I know Michael Jackson is guilty. He had Neverland. He loved the ranch. He was away from everybody. He had a ranch of his own, like Epstein had an island. I don't think it's funny. I'm pissed off today at PDF files. I'm really mad. This is how I know. This is no, I just knew. I knew, always knew. Kids know everything. And I was a kid when I used to watch him. And you know what I danced to get into the junior dance company? Jeannie Selva, if you're still alive or watching or anything, do you remember we had to audition for the junior dance company? And I did it to Michael Jackson. Do, 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 do. Um, his name was Epstein. I knew a guy, but I never knew he was the one who would bring the little ones to my house. They said I was the one, but I was quitted 2 times in a trial. Boom, boom, boom. 'Cause this is thriller, thriller night. I can't stand that man. Yeah. Do, 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 do. She told me her name was Billie Jean, but across the scene, she turned her eyes and she said, I was the one who would dance on the floor in the ground. Yeah. Okay, so this is why I know he's guilty as sin. Listen, they try to debunk what Wade Robson said and what James Safechuck said because they perjured themselves in court and they didn't know the right dates of the train station and all this. Well, listen to this. This is exhausting. People who really do, oh, it's exhausting. Listen to this. I can't explain this. You just have to watch it to believe it. I just can't even. Jeffrey Epstein had a fucking island. He had an island. That's why Jackson had Neverland. Jackson used to surround himself with Mickey Mouse and all these safe creatures that children love. I mean, for heaven's sakes, didn't anybody watch Leaving Neverland? If you think that Wade is a liar, I don't care. I wouldn't want anybody to know that he did that to me either. And he was especially good because he kind of groomed the world. But even as a child, mistake. Hi, mama. Hi, son. Even though, and I said this on my other live, so this is part two. Lasha's rant. He's guilty. Listen to this paid Jackson estate. This guy was paid by the Jackson estate. Garen frickin' T. James Johnson and mistake Pon Paul. Watch this BS. Listen.
They didn't know who to sue. But then evidence came out in that case that Wade Robson was aware of the Michael Jackson estate because in 2011 he'd met with John Branca, the co-executor of the estate, got the installation. So the judge ruled that Wade Robson had lied in his sworn declaration. You know, lying under oath, under penalty of perjury, just to be able to sue.
So did Dershowitz. Wade, Russell Brand, in my opinion, should be in jail anyway for throwing his dog down the stairs. I'm sorry about the 16-year-olds, but the women, maybe you shouldn't have thrown yourselves at him. He was obviously a narcissistic pig. And I love it that Candace Owens gives these men a platform because she has 4 boys or 3 boys. So do all kinds of other women. Anyhow, I don't believe this crap. Epstein had an island. He walked around with young women in plain sight. Virginia Giuffre, oh, I wish she was alive to see this day. And I hope that finally, and I don't care if anybody doesn't believe Wade, but I believe James. And I do believe that Michael Jackson and James say he seduced James. That's why it's about seduction. It's not just about the R word. And I don't care what anybody thinks. That's what nobody could ever change my mind. Michael Jackson's guilty. And this is how they prove his innocence to everybody because the Jackson estate is worth trillions of dollars. Hello, Jasmine. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jasmine. Yole, yole, yole. Happy birthday to you. Okay, this happy birthday.
Size of Hyde Park, the whole.
This is all This is all how money and power get away with trying to protect this PDF file's image, and I cannot separate his music from art anymore. Just like I can't separate Amy Winehouse's music from her art anymore. And if she hadn't met that Blake, I don't care what anybody says, it was her fate. She wrote music that'll live for a lifetime, that'll tell her story. And I love that woman. And every day, starting tomorrow, I'm singing a song for her because I love her. And she passed away July the 5th. Here's more Michael Jackson BS. All right. This is my opinion only, is my disclaimer. It's my opinion. I'm full of crap, not the king of pop.
Movie theatre.
Oh, movie theater for kids.
Movie theatre.
Oh,
Beautifully done. Like,
that's the guy who I think gave the sperm because I think that Deborah had those kids, what you call it, in IVF because they weren't black. And Jackson was so sick. Who does this to themselves? And nowadays, if Usher, oh, but you know what else? Diddy fooled everybody, didn't he? Didn't he? Didn't he fool everybody with just, and it wasn't Justin Bieber, it was Justin Timberlake. But there's this really good movie called Reptile, and it's fantastic. And Justin Timberlake is a very good actor, but it was Justin Timberlake who made up those rumors. And what human being does to themselves what Michael Jackson did to his face? Just like the evil devil, that Wade guy with the who does that to themselves? Have you seen the pig lately? And the guy who killed those 2 women? Have you seen the pork find lately in death row? He's like so fat right now. You can't even see his tattoos on his face. Anyways, and then poor Lisa Marie. Poor Lisa Marie. What was she thinking? This was the second allegedly PDF file. Allegedly, he's a PDF file. This is all my opinion. But why this Neverland and this island, and why do these PDFs get off? He was in the frickin' Epstein files. You don't think that Victoria's Secret had male models too? We live in a world that we know frickin' nothing about. The only thing Trump did was he did bring down the swamp. He just didn't think that he'd be caught up in the storm.
The big screen.
That you know what? I bet you that's why he started the war with Iran. Or this is my opinion. I think that Israel has an XCS tape with you know that word that rhymes with Melania and Trump mine with Pump and Epstein. That's what I think. But anyways, back to Jackson.
It's fairgrounds built for his own entertainment.
Oh, for his own entertainment.
You get it, kind of everything. But Neverland was not really a home for him. That was somewhere he would return to go back and to show himself. And it was built really for sick children.
Sure it was. Sure it was, Michael. Sure it was. Because you never had a childhood.
To the kids.
So, yes. Makes me mad.
So it's in the middle of nowhere. He used to hate the drive from Neverland to Los Angeles. He had a permanent suite and an apartment at one stage in Los Angeles. He had a permanent place out of Beverly Hills Hotel called the Michael Jackson Suite too in the end, because he used to rent it out full time. He needed to be in the city and do business, not up in the valley. He was rarely there. A lot of people make this big deal about an alarm that when you walk into Michael Jackson's bedroom, you go along the corridor, and an alarm goes off. That's completely true. Now, not only is that in Michael Jackson's house, since Michael's died, I've gone on to work for a lot of big superstars. They have alarms too, just the same thing. It's just a sensor walks along, just in case it's an intruder in the night, they can get to their escape route. Michael made sure that was all in place with security team. So whenever you walk, yeah, alarm bells would go off in Michael's room, says someone's approaching. And that was for him to weigh up, everything okay, is in the middle of the night, and so on. They also go on about this abuse room, the sexual secret room. And that angers me a lot because, for a start, let's talk about Michael's bedroom. It's 2 stories, it is massive, it's the normal.
What does the size of a bedroom have to do with anything? And what would you ever let your child sleep with even Justin Bieber? Or did he? Did he? Did he? Yes, he did. Did he? Did he? Yes.
Size of a house, basically. And he does have a secret room, if you want to call it that. Now, that room was built before he bought Neverland. He recorded a video called Say, Say, Say with Paul McCartney there. It was called Sycamore Valley.
Okay, okay, I'll stop using it. Jeez. I was just trying to show the. All right, all right. That's what I think. But heads up, we detected video in your stream below. I was just trying to show how people defend Michael Jackson in the most idiotic ways. Nobody knows what happened in those rooms but the boys. And 3 of them you can't get to and won't comment. 2 of them are still alive and they were vulnerable. And if you watch Leaving Neverland, which was taken off HBO, that's how powerful the Jackson machine is, allegedly, apparently. Take a look. I'll be back. The Raffles Monday, Trevor. Don't forget, 8 o'clock with Melody. Okay? Why stop telling everybody about that? All right. I need a nap.